famous doctors in the past, like William Osler in 1905 said, patient doing well, do not interfere. Remember that? Patient doing well, do not interfere. I wrote an article recently. Patient not doing well, do interfere. Because what happens, you had a bypass surgery. After that also you're having trouble. So you go to the doctor, he will order another angiogram and say, hey, it's fine, it's fine. But doctor, I am not fine. I don't know, your heart is fine. He is not worried about his heart. He is worried about himself. You go to somebody and say, I have a tummy ache. And then you have everything, cat scan, dog scan, pet scan, everything. And everything is normal. The doctor says, you are fine. I said, I am not fine, doctor. I have the pain. Well, you go and see a pain specialist. I saw a patient last week. This patient had what is called, quote unquote, epilepsy. You know? So, went to the best neurologist in Chennai. Chennai, there are a lot of this. Chennai is the biggest commercialized medical center in India. Next only to Bombay. So, the neurologist saw, special neurologist saw, and all the things, all the machines that they got used on that person. She's a lady. But still she says, and then you must see an epileptologist. These fellows had taken about 2 or 3 lakhs of rupees. All the reports are normal, but the patient is not normal. The epileptologist sees her, does some more tests, and then says, you are fine, nothing to worry. But take these anti-epileptic drugs, 4 of them. All that is in the textbook. So this lady was getting so-called epilepsy even after the drugs. Nobody was talking to that lady. Nobody was talking to her. Nobody was examining her. They were only looking at the report. Somebody said, why don't you have a look at this lady? She's suffering a lot. So I said, what she's suffering from? They said, fits. Then I asked her, in Tamil, fits in when do you get the fits? It will come now. She starts. Classical hysterical fits. You go deep into her psyche and she opens up. And she has a very bad experience in the family. She just can't put up with that. You know, she wants to run away from it, but she can't run away from it. Now God has given us a lot of protection when you want to run away from danger. Because we were hunter-gatherers. So God did not want you to die with predation. So even if a tiger comes and you run away from the tiger to the extent possible, but still the tiger catches you, it can't eat the whole of you because it's not hungry that. It might eat your hand and go away. Nature didn't want you to die. You call it nature because many of you must be atheists. God didn't want you to die. So what did God do? God in evolution gave us an autonomic nervous system. So when you see the tiger at a distance, you get frightened. Fight, flight. So when you get frightened, you must run away from the tiger to the extent possible. So you can't run because you need a glucosate to run. Though there's no glucosate. So God said, okay, I'll give you glucosate. So he kept a lot of glycogen in the liver. Bags of glycogen. So to release that, fear releases adrenaline from the sympathetic system. Adrenaline comes to the liver, sugar is released. It's called neoglucogenesis. You get enough sugar to run. Then you run, your blood pressure must go up. So adrenaline will raise the blood pressure by vasoconstriction. The heart must pump more powerfully. Adrenaline does all that. Okay? So you run, your sugar comes down, your blood pressure comes down, your heart rate comes down. You're fine. Today in society we have tigers. Greater tigers than the tigers in the forest. And you could run away from those tigers. You cannot run away from this tiger. Who is it? Your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, your office, your boss, your assistant. Now every day you see this tiger and you can't run away from the tiger. So what happens? Every day your blood sugar goes up, your blood pressure goes up, your heart rate goes up, and you can't run, so it doesn't come down. Did you get that? This is the cause of most of the so-called lifestyle diseases. You thought it's interesting, hilarious? No. Every word of what I said is not absolute scientific truth, 100% truth. You imagine this. In the olden days, you even cut your hand and the tiger took away your hand, you don't bleed much. When you start bleeding, the adrenaline comes and vasoconstriction occurs, blood vessel closes. The minute the blood vessel closes, clotting starts, clotting cascade starts. So it clots only when it's bleeding, and you're fine. Now you would have bled a little and your blood pressure would have come down, so you may not get enough blood supply to the brain, but nature didn't want you to become unconscious. So it recirculates the blood. What blood is there goes to the brain and the heart and the kidney, and remaining muscles and skin get less blood. This is called recirculation of blood. All this is done by the autonomic nervous system, which can't work in the present forest. Unfortunately, culturally we have evolved from the forest to the civilization so-called, but genetically we have not evolved so much. In another 15 million years, if we still survive, we will probably be able to sit with the tiger and still have normal blood pressure. Right now you don't. And this is exactly our problem.